Today I'm going to focus on a different type of robot. These are the Legacy Core Class. I'll say it in 1 second. Okay, fine, I'll just call them, well, they're Transformers. I don't think I've ever shown any Transformers on the channel. Actually, I think I showed Bumblebee, but I think that's it. This is the Core Class lineup with Skywarp, Hot Rod, and Iguanas. I feel like the character choice of this one is just done really well. They made the Core Class just characters that, they're here, like Skywarp and Hot Rod. You don't need to get them because there's thousands of other Skywarp and Hot Rod. Skywarp's not so easily accessible, but it's a lot easier to get a Hot Rod. But you can get a mini Hot Rod now, and a mini Skywarp. And Iguanas is, I don't know if anyone knows what. Yeah, I don't think anyone really knows who he is. So yeah, just an obscure character who has some legacy spotlight. I checked and he only has one existing toy already, so yeah. I'll show the vehicle forms. These guys are done pretty well. There are some imperfections, like how Hot Rod, his thing should, I'm pretty sure it should be like able to push down a little more, but it just comes right back out. And Iguanas, he looks okay. Another thing I should add is that these guys are all from G1, so pretty sure even Iguanas are G1, yeah. I'm gonna look at them more closely now. This is Skywarp, also known as Starscream, recolor. Also as Cash Grab to get more money in the 80s. But yeah, this is underside. You can see his points under here. His chest. That's supposed to be his head. And his arms are right there. His feet. His transformation is pretty nice. You can see the Decepticon symbol nicely painted onto here, and you get to focus. And yeah, Skywarp is pretty good as a vehicle. His jet, yeah. I advise you to be careful with these parts. Don't leave them on the floor, because I broke mine off. You can easily break this off, so yeah. Don't try it. He is like he's like the Decepticon national anthem color, black and purple. Most Decepticons have at least one of these colors on them. Yeah. So Skywarp is pretty cool in his vehicle mode. Now let's go move on to Iguanas. Iguanas vehicle mode is not as good. You can kind of see he looks like a type of creature holding a motorcycle wheel, and you can kind of see what they went for, but it's because of mostly his robot mode that makes him look like this. And I feel like it's executed the best they could have, but they just couldn't do it. So you can kind of see what they went for. You can see this art. But for now, he'll stay as a guy holding a bag. And now the only Autobot in this lineup, we have Hot Rod. As I said, Hot Rod, he has some problems. Like this can close better. His wheels, I'm just showing the spinning capability of these wheels. These wheels just kind of, Transformers never had like the best wheels, but these wheels could be a little bit better. Mine has a paint problem. The bottom side of Hot Rod. Just has that. He has to be my least favorite transformer in this lineup because he just feels a lot cheaper because he feels hollow. Anyway, he does do that. You can hear all the wheel noises. So he's my least favorite in this whole lineup. So now I can transform them. These three in robot mode. I'll start with Hot Rod because he's my least favorite. Hot Rod. His back head is hollow. He just looks overall like a cheap figure. I'm really scared I'm gonna break these flaps on him. They're cheap plastic too. His arms bend, legs bend. And you also should be aware of this. I'm just so scared I'm gonna break it. I just try not to transform it as much because this seems like it's gonna break off any day. He's Hot Rod, but if you have money, you should just get the bigger Hot Rods unless you're trying to complete the set or something, because this is kind of a disappointing Hot Rod. Now for coolness. Hey, this guy actually looks really cool. He's not as hollow as Hot Rod. His face. I don't know how to focus on the camera, but man, need more light. Check out his face. Like, he has the reptile scales. His painting is just well done. His back has the wheels. It just looks super cool. His articulation is good because that swivel. He's like the ball joint over here. Turning. And yeah, you should definitely get this guy. I really suggest you do. He looks cool, and you're probably never gonna see him again until like 2090, or Transformers released like a Super Legacy collection. They had him in there. He's so much better than Hot Rod. Now we have Skywarp. Probably my personal favorite of the set. His face is standard G1 Starscream face. His articulation goes into his legs, so we can also knee people. He can't move his hands. You might think he can, but he doesn't. Another ball joint over here so he can kind of pat his chest. His feet. You should also get this guy. It's just a cool miniature Skywarp to have. And his transformation is good, so yeah. These guys range around like $12, so it's standard retail price. So it won't be too hard to get these guys. And if you go to any store, they'll be there. So it's easy to get from stores. For sure, yeah, all these guys came from a Target at different times. So I got this guy first, that guy second, got that guy a few days ago. So yeah. Now you might be thinking, but I have this guy. Where's their weapons? Right here. You can combine these guys' weapons to make an ultra sword, which any of them can hold. I find it kind of weird that they're fusing the Decepticons and Autobots' weapons. I just like think that like Hot Rod stole them and used them in combat, but yeah. And their weapons go back to individuality, of course. That's how it's supposed to look like, just in case. And it's just a look at this weapon. This weapon's pretty cool. Unfortunately, Hot Rod has another paint swatch. So you give Skywarp this thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be exactly. It looks like a type of like weapon that he'd use on like Autobot that it's a prison or something, but it's not very clear on what it is supposed to be. On his jet mode, it goes on. Oh no, his arm came off. No. So on his jet mode, it goes on the nozzle. So right here, that doesn't make it very clear either. Is this supposed to be like gun or something? Because the way he holds it isn't very gun-like. You'd think that he'd hold like this if it was a gun, but he holds it like this. So I guess we'll just never know how he holds it. Second, I'll give Hot Rod. Hot Rod's sword is probably, I'll say it's my second favorite. It's not as bad as Hot Rod is in my favorite list, but still. His sword goes on here. Another thing I forgot to point out, when he's in his vehicle mode, this part just sticks out like a sore thumb. I just really don't like it. But they could have made it yellow. But the sword sticks on there, as you can guess. If you turn away from the paint splash it might have, it can look pretty good. Redeeming Hot Rod some points. Next is Iguanus. Yeah, that's a nice post run. Iguanus hold this. Not with a big part, but the small part. The big part, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the big part's for his vehicle mode. I'll show in a second. It's supposed to be a gun, as it shows in the art, but it looks kind of like a sword. This like you could hack and slash, but it's more intended to be a gun. And it should go on this part. Pretty cool, right? Let's give him his weapon back. The weapons make it way cooler. Like, if these weapons weren't included with it, they wouldn't be as good as they are, but the weapons can give them nice poses, especially Hot Rod. If you can make this Hot Rod figure good, your weapon is really good. But yeah, now I'm gonna rate them out of 10. I'll give Iguanus, in his robot mode, I'm gonna give him a 9. And his robot mode looks super cool. In his vehicle mode, I'll give his vehicle mode a 5. Hot Rod, as for robot mode, I'll give him a 6. He looks okay, but there are just some things about him. So yeah, his vehicle mode, I'll give it a 7. It doesn't look that cheap, but it just feels cheap when you hold it yourself. It just feels really light. It makes all that noise with the wheels. Skywarp, try not to be biased, but Skywarp's making it pretty hard. Skywarp in his robot mode, I'm gonna give him a 9. He looks like a normal G1 Skywarp. He just looks like they shrunk the figure down, and that's pretty cool. In his vehicle mode, I'm gonna give him the same thing Actually, I want to give vehicle mode a 10. His vehicle mode just has everything right about it. It's a jet, and it puts everything in the right place. I guess that's my finished review on the Transformers. My first Transformer video on the channel. So yeah, you should pick these guys up other than Hot Rod. Just get the Studio Series Rodimus Prime. You'll be saving yourself space on your shelf. And now it's time for them to go.